guys, my name is Kirsten Warwick, and today for my persuasive speech, I'm going to be talking about abortion and how it is essentially legalized genocide. So, abortions, people were like, well, why are they even a thing? Well, people typically say, I don't want this pregnancy, it's at the wrong time. People have lack of safety in their sexual actions, or they have it before marriage, and they think of, hey, this will fix the issue right up. Well, despite what people may think of it just being a quick fix, there are a lot of negative effects that can come with this, especially affecting the mother's health. Because it's unnatural for a woman to go through with this, they can have certain diseases, they can have mental health issues, they can have excessive bleeding, even more than a regular pregnancy, and they can have fertility issues because, as I said, it's unnatural, not really what a woman's supposed to go through. And this visual helps even add more to that of the risk that can happen to a woman. And this visual gives even more examples that I didn't include on the last slide of how it can range from minor things such as fever, or it can go to the most serious thing of death as a risk of abortion. Not only does the abortion negatively affect the parent, but it also affects the baby in negative ways. Because there's a couple different methods that can be used for an abortion on a baby. There's D&E, where they literally will crush the baby to get it out of the uterus. There's D&C, where they'll suck the baby in using a tool that's almost like a vacuum to get rid of it and make sure they get all the contents out of the uterus. Then some people are like, whoa, that's too inhumane, let's go with the pills. But in reality, that's just as bad because you're essentially starving the baby because you're cutting off its blood supply and nutrients, and then it causes the baby to die. And then one final thing is if doctors sometimes want to induce labor, but they want to deliver the baby dead, so they'll intentionally put the baby into cardiac arrest so that it will be delivered dead. And some people, their argument is, well, the baby's not even alive. Well, this chart right here goes to show, as well as my facts, that people don't normally find out they're pregnant until 3 weeks. Well, at day 21, there's already a heartbeat. And by the 4th week, the baby already has a heart, brain, and spinal cord that are being developed. And then just by the next week, they're already starting to move and they have joints. And as you keep going, the next week they've got brainwave activity, their limbs are forming, and there's even more vital organs that are already forming that quickly, which goes to show that typically by the time people decide on an abortion, their baby's already starting to form, and it's not just this little embryo, it's an actual human being because it has a heartbeat. I typically think something living has a heartbeat. And what's even worse is abortions are even allowed as late as 24 weeks when a baby is actually viable to live outside of the womb. Some people, their arguments against pro-life is that it gives women control over their bodies because they think it's my body, whether maybe they got raped or they're just like, well, hey, I didn't want to get pregnant. But the thing is, as we previously showed in the slides, by the time they found out they're pregnant, it's already a living human being because they have a heartbeat and they're already forming. So they're still murdering the child, whether or not it affects them. And by control over their bodies, they actually could hurt themselves. People also say that's an alternative to pregnancy. Solution, don't do actions that could lead to pregnancy. Low medical risk, well, we showed that it's not always a low medical risk. There's actually a lot of risks that can happen, especially to the mother. And some people don't want to do it because the babies have health issues, but there's plenty of parents out there that maybe can't have babies that would love to take on that child as their own because they can't get pregnant. And so with this information, us being educated now, we can stand up to pro-choice groups. We can explain to people whether they're thinking about an abortion or whether they're supporting abortion. We can explain to them these facts of, hey, maybe you should change your mind, or do you have all the facts of what abortion really is? And there's also other options of supporting groups that they will pay for people, mothers, to hear the heartbeat before going through with an abortion, because typically the women will realize, hey, I don't want to actually go through with this, because they realize it's a human being after they hear the heartbeat. And these are my sources that I use to gain my information, and thanks for watching.